these immigrants, people that don't know how to invest. So, all right, it's setting up. It's about to go live in five, four, three, two. It should be live now on YouTube. Oh, it said it's redirecting to YouTube. All right. So it'll come on when it comes on. All right, guys. So with the wealth pop up tonight, I wanted to make sure that I come on. I do have an affirmation that I think is very critical and very important. Um, I texted it to my sister yesterday, and I was like, man, I haven't been doing any affirmations. We've just been kind of going with the flow. So I started the practice of, writing things down, affirming things, meditating on these things, so on and so forth. And I noticed a big shift in my life, right? So it's not just the meditation, subconscious programming, prayers, fasting, positive talk, getting rid of negativity, staying away from negativity, all that fun stuff. So it's just a whole bunch of things as a conglomerate. But if I had to summarize it into one theory, it's basically, I don't know, power or authority, and basically taking accountability of your life. So, with that being stated, these wealth pop ups were so people could hear the stories directly from the people that have experienced mass success, but also have, a story, a journey on the way there, or some failures and ups and downs and things of that nature. Today, I don't have any downs to talk about. I think I've talked about downs enough. I just want to talk about the ups and how we get it going. So God told me, um, that in 2026 there's going to be a major, um, God told me in 2012 that there was going to be a major consciousness shift. So I remember doing stuff like 11 11 11 because that's the last time we're going to see that date in our last time in our lifetime, pretty much on the calendar period. That would be the last time. And then the following year I did 12 12 12, and this was before Sean King was Sean King. Like, well, I guess he was himself, but I mean, he wasn't like this guy that they see now. So we would have discussions, and anyway, we would do 12 different countries, 12 different causes, 12 different leaders at 12 p.m. It was a whole theory or whatever. And God was speaking to me consciously about at that time, consciousness was going to shift. This was of the previous year. So by December of the that year, I was already working. So anyway, I titled it World Interdependence Day, and World Interdependence Day became a movement and all this stuff. So with that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep that theory going. So that's why people see, this theory. Well, with the 369 situation, I thought it was important that people understand, kind of where I got that from. And where I got the information from was Nikola Tesla, but it may have come from some older generations as well. But that's where I credit it to. So with that being stated, so with the 369s and today being the 6th of July, I thought it was very important. This is 60 days before my birthday. So September 6th is my birthday. So 60 days before my birthday, I get to come on here and kind of give what's going to happen in 2026. And I also follow the more Eastern calendar where the new year actually doesn't start January 1st, right? It starts in September or autumn or whatever the case may be. The Hebrew calendar and different calendars start their new year around September, October. So, with that being stated, I've been doing that way before I found out about religion and I knew anything about anything. I had been doing that already because my birthday's September the 6th. When you look and Google it real, real deep, if you Google it, the Mayan calendar started on September the 6th as well. I thought that was very interesting. I don't know anything about the Mayan calendar, but I do understand it after I've done. I can't say I don't know anything, but I didn't know anything about it. I didn't choose my birthday. But anyway, so today the affirmation is I walk in God aligned decisions. right? I walk in God aligned decisions. I notice no matter what I say, no matter what I do, no matter who you are, no matter how much you pray, how much you fast, how much you positive talk, how much you dream, hope, wish, write, work. I don't care how hard you work. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what title you have. I don't care who's in your life. If you're not properly aligned, I don't know how it's going to work. And if it's not on the inside of you, it's only limited, limited, limited. Okay. And pretty much you're probably going to get taken fast, robbed, hurt, damaged, trauma, drama, something weird is going to happen. But when you are properly aligned, right, and you do officially align yourself with the things of God, with God's truth, and truth of who you are on the face of this earth, not who your mom said, not who somebody told you, not all that weird stuff, but I mean truly aligned. Let me get my journal. Let me get my journal. It's getting real in the field. So this journal that I have, I'm always writing stuff. So here we go. I'm gonna say the affirmation 6 times. Okay. Um, I walk in God aligned decisions. I walk in God aligned decisions. I walk in God aligned decisions. Second time. I walk in God aligned decisions. I walk in God aligned decisions. I walk in God aligned decisions. That is something, and I would think at the age of 46 that I would know this, right? I would know that that's what I'm supposed to do. However, that is not what's been happening with me, to me, through me, by me, on me, or none of that. Now, I will admit, there were times I felt aligned. There were times I may have even been aligned. I'm not going to lie and say I have been in God aligned decisions my whole life. Absolutely, I will not do it. Okay. Y'all put some fire in the chat for God opening up my mind. Now, mind you, this is my affirmation. I'm not putting this on anybody, okay? I'm not saying that you have to do this. I'm just letting you know that this is from my intelligence, from my experiences in my subconscious programming, in my consciousness, I found my thing. Some people may agree that, hey, I wasn't properly aligned. Why, Dr. O, did you keep on choosing to mess with this certain type of men, hang around these certain type of women, or certain type of investment, or get into that certain type of business? My resume is all, hear me, paralegal, commercial manager, collection agent, medical bill, whatever it was, representative for different companies, fast food, retail. I was a makeup artist. I was a commercial model, runway model. I'm a producer, television director. I mean, I can go on and on about the randomness of my life. That should show someone, if you looked at my resume, that she wasn't walking. Don't be judging me, Dick, this the intro. She was not walking in God aligned decisions, but I was walking with God. I was absolutely walking with God, because there's no way I should have made it through half the things that I was doing. Okay. I
Amen.
remember being a young child between the ages of 6 and 10, walking around a town full of racist people and just walking and doing whatever I wanted to do, however I wanted to do it, with no phone, no pager, no parent knew where I was. I didn't even live with my mother. I lived with my stepfather. Okay. There was no mother around, no adult, no older fit, nothing, just walking around this town all by myself. So I know that I've walked with God, but God is aligning me and honestly putting a mandate on my life to ask me to ask you guys, are you aligned? Are you truly God aligned in your life? If you have any stress, or you feel some kind of way about a couple of decisions you made, or you look up and you're like, man, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not worried about booking them on the internet. I'm not concerned about so and so. I'm not comparing myself. I'm missing out on a couple of things. some delays. I'm talking about the accountability, not the victimhood to where you truly have been hurt and damaged by other people. That's a whole nother layer, right? I'm talking about you yourself waking up and saying, you know what, I'm really happy with my life. Nobody can give it to me, nobody can take it from me. I'm 100% happy with my life. If you're not there, to me, I'm using my terminology and what God showed me. I feel like you're not God aligned and you're not making God aligned decisions. And that's where this whole wealth pop up is going to get you into that alignment flow with God. So that's the affirmations that we want to say. And going forward, I'm going to ask our guests to give us an affirmation. And if they don't have one available, okay, I'm going to start doing some affirmations. They are powerful. But like I said, it don't even matter if you affirm something and you really, they say believe. There's something greater than belief. Okay. I'm not going to tell y'all the reason right now, but there's something greater than belief. What I will tell you is that if you don't know it and you are not it, you can believe all you want. You can imagine all you want. If you are not it, it will not come to pass. Or you'll get a taste of it and it'll be fleeting. Or when you get a taste of it, it'll be not what you expected. Okay. So that's the framework of today. Now, what I want to talk about is what God showed me in 2026, because I already saw and can see ahead of time. The president is going into a lame duck president level. Lame duck president level. I'm not going to do too much on that, but basically, this year of his presidency, he's like a lame duck. He will not be able to do too much. His hands will be tied. Moreover, because there's a midterm election. And because there's a midterm election, that means that the focus is going to be on the parties and who's going to be in power and who's taking over, because these are the elections that there's a rapper named Yellow Pain. Love his song about this, right? When he starts educating people about those midterm elections, these are the people that determine how much food stamps will be given. These are the people that determine what type of sentencing you'll be getting or what type of pay you'll be getting, or when you get a promotion, how much will that go up? These are the people that determine, hey, when you go get a loan or you do this, what the points will be and how you access this and that. These are the people that determine your livelihood. The president is more over vanity. Not to say they're not the most powerful person, but they have a different type of power and influence. These are the legislation, the people that make the deals, the ones that will and deal and call some shots. Now they report to people too. Lame duck simply is your president don't have no power. He didn't do it in his 100 days, or he didn't do it before, this midterm elections happening in what, March through June era. If he didn't get whatever he was going to get done, this is where the House shifts. Maybe right now it's in favor of Republicans, but it might shift back to Democrats because they don't like what they've heard so far. He said he wasn't going to touch Medicaid. Do this, he did it. He let out the felons that did stuff against the White House. But then he's saying he's going to lock up Americans and put them on Alligator Island and stuff. And it's like, these are born Americans because they've done something wrong. He's going to lock up American. Like, so he's starting to, he's going to reap those, whatever he said, he's going to reap what he's sown. Okay. He's going to reap whatever he's sown is going to happen in 2026. Okay. That's not Dr. O. I'm not being prophetic yet. I'm not even in what God said yet. I'm just talking about what lame duck means. Okay. And I didn't make the word up. That is historical. I don't know who made it up. I don't even care. That's what your president's going to be this year. Okay. 2026. So what God told me, and God said why 2026 is ordained for wealth. And for women out there, I want to say this to you because I've had gentlemen attack me my whole life, but these later attacks have been about my wealth, my finances, who I am on the earth, my decision-making process, trying to always call me masculine and trying to do this. It's like I don't even relate to masculinity. Now I relate to accountability, and if that seems masculine, then so be it. But I wanted to talk about for the women and men, but really for the women, the cost of being a high frequency woman in low frequency rooms, that's with men or women, is that they'll try to label you as too much. because they're not enough. And I think it's very important to lean into that, right? So, as God was talking to me about 2026, God was telling me that women are now going to have to start being more high functioning. You think to yourself, well, doctor, oh, I do it all now. I take care of everybody now. That's low vibrational. That is low vibrational if you're taking care of everybody and nobody's taking care of you. Well, my children can't take care of me. The Bible even says, literally, the Bible says it is not the children's job to take care of the parents, it's the parents' job to take care of the children financially, inheritance wise, things of that nature. I'm not speaking from that perspective, but something that my daughter, my philosophizing daughter, told me yesterday. We were having a great time. She was teaching me about her philosophy. I won't share her personal philosophy. It's phenomenal. It could only come from God. Anyway, what she's teaching me about her philosophy, how to process it, how to use it, like in a, an example. And the example that I gave her, so I won't share hers, but I'll share mine. The example that I gave her about her philosophy was, if I keep on calling Alexis, somebody's going to answer her phone. So if that number goes back to whatever phone service she uses, somebody eventually, if I keep calling that number, if even if I don't reach Alexa, somebody's going to answer that phone. That's the philosophy that she was teaching me. And so I retorted back to her something similar. So as she was philosophizing to me, we were talking and talking and talking. And eventually I was like, I called you in here to help me fry this shrimp. I was teaching her how to fry to make it crispy. And I was, fixing the salad. And since we didn't have French fries, we cooked some rice. So I'm in there cooking up a storm. She talking, we philosophizing and everything. And I noticed after 30 minutes, she helped me do nothing, which was the point of me calling her in the kitchen. And she's gonna look in my eyes. See, I may not help you physically, but I have helped you mentally. And then she walked off, and I wanted to yank her hair. The glory almost went into my fingers and wanted to yank her hair. You don't get out of base. That is not what I called for. Thank you. You did help me mentally, and she did. That is, I want you to be on that same wavelength and remember, you not getting reciprocity, you not getting what you came for, you not getting what you deserve out of the deal, you not getting what you signed up for, whether it be a man or in our men's case, a man not getting from a woman. I don't care who it is. If it's not reciprocal, that's not God. God is very reciprocating. If you reap what you sow, isn't that reciprocation? If you ask not because you have not because you ask not, that's reciprocal. If you plant a seed, something shall happen. Even if it lands on rocks, something's gonna happen. It may not grow, right? God just has a lot of reciprocity. If you pray, you'll get an answer. There are people like, God doesn't answer me. No, you're not listening because you don't even need to pray. You really don't. Now, I'm not telling you not to pray. Pray without ceasing, please. But I'm saying that you don't even need to pray for God to answer you. There's prayers you have never prayed that. So anyway, my point in that is that no more low frequency. Your home girl, all she does is cackle about this and that or talk or whatever the case may be. I didn't even know that I was being groomed into witchcraft by certain relatives that were gossiping all the time. I didn't even know I was being groomed by certain so-called friends or god sisters and stuff, and they were always just somehow something negative was always happening. I'm like, there's not a group of people that just have positive things happen. Like, is there anybody having anything? Am I the only one? And then I have my sister Gwen, thank God. I have Prophetess, thank God. I have the members of GBFIC, thank God. I have people that, I can share things with. Even Alexis, we've talked about the good stuff too, right? So it's not all bad. Now, maybe our past may not be, favorable, but our current times, we don't have to just talk about the negatives. Hey, my sis. So perhaps, and be careful what you're saying. I had to study Psalm 15 because Psalm 15 was saying, don't say something about a friend. Don't say something negative about a friend. Don't talk about somebody, You know what I mean? Now, if you're trying to get help or you're trying to seek advice, that's a different story. But be very careful about saying negative things about somebody you call a friend and somebody that you consider a friend. So Psalm 15 is one of the shortest chapters in the Bible, 5 verses. Okay. I think the shortest chapter has 2 verses. And there's the shortest, one of them is the shortest, which is Psalm 15, very short. 5 chapters will get you straight. Basically, watch your mouth. So anyway, I said all that to say that the low frequency is not just outside people, it comes from you as well. Anyway, you'll watch your money go up. The more high frequency you get, the more you're going to see your money go up. Okay. I don't know how to say it in a way, but it does matter. To me, money is spiritual. To me, okay, and I teach it from a spiritual perspective. I don't see any other way to have it, because other than that, it's just trash to me, right? If it's not on a spiritual level, I don't even want it. What's the point? So just know when I speak on money, I'm talking from the spiritual aspects of money and real tangible cash money. Okay, I'm not going to bite my tongue about you being wealthy. I'm not. All right. So why 2026? And I'm gonna close my mic after this. And I'll open up for Q&A, but I'm gonna close my mic after this. Why 2026 is ordained for wealth. Okay. So I have 6 things that God was showing me. Right. So one thing God was telling me is that if wealth is not in your subconscious, it doesn't matter how hard you consciously affirm it. You're going to sabotage opportunities or allow yourself to be sabotaged. You're going to shrink in your desires or allow your desires to be, cast away. You're going to create scarcity. I don't care who you are. It's just the way it goes. And I always say no more tricks in 2026, but what that really means is um you can't, no more blaming other people. Now it's 100% in 2026, it's all on you. We voted, right? That doesn't work for some people. We voted, okay? That doesn't work, okay? If you're not lobbying, rich people lobby, poor people vote, in my opinion, right? Well, I can't say that because rich people vote too, but my point is, see where, okay? So I'm like, who are you going to blame? You did what you do. You went to school, you got an education, took a class, you graduated from the class, you did all the things. So why are you not where you need to be if you're not where you need to be? Number one, investing is not an option. The point is that people try to make you think that it is an option. I was telling Andrea, I'm not going to give this is recorded, but our fund is up 8.57%. 8.57%. Okay, from last year. Tomorrow is our annual, and we're up 8.57%. Normal, that's in a bad down market. Okay, this is bad, bad, bad. We lost. Okay, a lot. The market lost $13 trillion. We lost a lot as a whole. Okay, and we're still up 8.57%. Now, typical things in a bank, 0.0%, 0.0012%, maybe 1%, some high yield 4%. But that's just on the percentage basis points. That's not like all of what you're gonna get. We are up 8.57% in a bad economy. That just means we didn't we didn't hold our foot when it came to investing. I didn't have any options. We gonna invest. We're gonna ride that thing down and up. It doesn't matter to me. Streams of income are mandatory. I currently have, I don't know, I counted the other day. I know I have a handful of streams of income because when I turn around, somebody's sending me this or somebody's sending me some payments coming from this, or I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and God told me to name them, categorize them, respect them. Don't worship them. You don't have to worship, but do respect those things. And I didn't write that in my heart, and I can just go to my pull it out. I do have to. God does want me to have a session before 2026 with myself. And when I say 2026, I mean September of this year, okay, for me. And so what I'm saying is God wants me to sit down and write out my stream of income. The Bible teaches you have 7 to 8 streams. In out of Genesis, there were 4 streams or 4 streams or heads for the rivers and lakes to go through. Trees. Look at a tree. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Just look at a tree, and a tree will tell you exactly what's going on. Just look at a tree. And what I mean by that, look how many branches and how many limbs and legs and things of nature. Just look at a tree and it will tell you exactly exactly where you're headed. Just look at a tree and a tree will tell you exactly where you're headed. Okay. Meaning, is it one branch on a tree? You know what I'm saying? Or does the stump, which is you, many branches, opportunities for leaves and fruit? Is it just one leaf on a tree? Just one root? Is it just one, if it's a fruit tree or a flower, you know, put something green in the chat if you feel what I'm saying. Put something green in the chat. You don't have an option. Now, let at least got us away from people who respect money. They don't respect wealth. They don't respect health. If they're smoking, drinking, cussing, fussing, partying all the time, if they're, mean to people and they don't pay their bills and they don't do this and they do that, and without too much personal testimony, I had a situation where someone was using one of my accounts because they access. But they know good and well that they don't have the funds to recover whatever they were using. So why are you even using it? So wisdom tells me that's not up to them. That's up to you. Them. So I did, right? So block it.
I think we lost Dr. O. Dr.
Sorry
O.
about that.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, something happened. It connected or whatever. Somebody didn't like that. So that might be exactly what we need to do. Just start blocking. But that's exactly what it was. They got mad because we don't found the thing. It ain't even about the streams of income. It's not about the investing. It's about what the third thing was: give broke folk no more access. I don't know how many wealthy people have got their wealth and said the same. I don't know how many people that are successful. Maybe they don't have the millions of dollars. Maybe they're in at 6 figures. Maybe they're good, solid figures. They don't want nothing, nothing for them. And they got everything that would, threaten their peace of mind. I just saw a clip where early and him 500 were on the chopping block for some other guy who I don't know, but he had them up there as fraudsters because him 500 was teaching how to get a loan from Navy Federal.
She got kicked out again. Dr. O, we can't hear you if you're talking.
Okay. Like I said, I got the 3 things. So y'all have the 1, 2, and 3. Anyway, basically, he was teaching you how to convert a type of loan, a auto loan, into a personal loan. If you go and find a VIN number for a car, and then I forgot what he was saying. I don't even it's not about him. The guy was exposing that you guys keep listening to these internet people and walking into fraud or information or wrongful information, and is leading you down the wrongful path. So I'm very careful about what I watch on social media, who I connect to social media. how I connect on, so how what I put on social media. Like, you got to be careful. Anyway, God was showing me that a lot of that stuff is going to end, but it's up to you to end it as well. Okay. So 2026, like I said, is going to be a year of full subconscious programming where you be able to truly, truly, truly program yourself for wealth. But there's a lot of things you're going to have to get rid of. So it's like a year for you to be just going through the motions. It's not like write a New Year's resolution and get to it. You're going to really imprint some things into that year, and you're going to have to manifest some things into that year. But first and foremost, it's got to be on the inside of you, right? So I've dedicated the year for me, and I'm teaching other people how to and dedicate the entire year to subconscious programming. I don't know what else people want. I mean, if you're still breathing and you're still alive, I don't know what more you. It's like world as is. You've seen it good, you've seen bad, the ugly, you've seen the rich, poor, that you've seen it all. What more is coming? Okay. Now, God can obviously do a new thing. You can impress upon God to do a new thing. I'm not against that, but I'm saying from life to now, what have you really seen different? Have things gotten worse or better? Yes, but it's nothing else more that you have to offer. There's a ground and there's a sky. I don't know what else to tell people. So it pretty much is what it is. Whatever you have, you're gonna have to make it work, whatever it is. Okay. A lot of people get out here and keep on trying to look for stuff and look and look and look, but never go into their own kitchen to see what they have before they go to the grocery store. My cabinets are not empty, my refrigerator is empty. I have no business at the grocery store. That's how I think and process. I know my kids are like, Mom, please. Like, we will be the last little, not bag of rice, but rice seed. Last bag for the grocery store. Well, we're not going to just get into a system of wanting, lack, and need and all this stuff. Make it work. We're not eating out. We're not doing all that weird stuff. I would rather buy some stock. I would rather find another way to buy another app. I'd rather go do some research than eat out. You hear me? So, or fast. I'll just stop eating. How about that? But anyway, so you have to in 2026, you've got to think in wealth, you got to speak in wealth, you got to start expecting it, expecting. I remember one thing that happened to me. I started getting $3,500 checks, and it was after watching The Secret. Is not, I'm not crediting The Secret, but it was after watching The Secret, if I'm honest. And I had watched The Secret, and they said stop going to the mailbox expecting bills. I'm gonna turn my video off. I'm gonna turn my video off so I can finish this, because this part is really important. This part is really important.
Thank you.
If you guys can hear me, put a one in the chat or come off mute and let me know,
Yes,
because
here
this
you.
part is really important. Okay. So I was watching Secret check. Stop going expecting bills. Stop going expecting bad news. I started, which I practiced today. This was back in 2009. I still practice that today. And I expect checks. I expect good news in my mail. So I never ever feel any kind of way. And I never really felt bad going to my mailbox. The first check that I received was for $3,500. That was from my school at the time, Herzing University. And I was doing legal studies and that whatever, financial aid. Then the next check I received was for $3,500. That was from a television commercial that I did 2 years before, 3 years before. But they had switched companies, so my royalties started coming from Intelligence Media versus Boulevard Media. So they were letting us know, like, we've switched over, so here's your courtesy check from the last check or whatever. Then the next check for $3,500 was from a guy who tried to rob me to purchase a car that didn't exist. And he had been in trouble with some detective before, cheating, no games. I poured it in on a Tuesday. That detective had my check today. Do y'all hear me? I don't know who that woman. I don't know what power she had. Oh, all she said was, "I'm gonna call him." She didn't even go get him. Do y'all hear me? She put in a phone call and a check was in the mail.
Amen.
Jesus. So that $3,500 check came. Amen. And then after that, of course, I kept getting the royalty checks and, so on and so forth. So life's just started getting really good. So now what I practice is larger sums. So I was like, well, Lord, if I can do that with 3,500, let me start doing. And that just started happening, like I said, 2009, right? And so now I just get checks. Some of the checks are 17 cents, y'all. Some of the checks are $4,000. Some of the checks are $12,000. Some of the checks are whatever price point. Okay. So I'm not going to lie to you and just say, oh, ever since 2009, I've been getting $3,500 checks. Just in that one time frame, I got those three $3,500 checks to let me know something had shifted. Okay. But my expectation also changed. I don't believe that God was trying to give me an amount of a check. I think God was trying to update my system. Okay. So that got updated. So now I put on some jeans today. It was $200 in the pocket. I don't even know why I put on jeans. It's hot as ever in Texas, okay? But it was a cute little outfit. I like the way those jeans look with my shirt. And my shirt is long and it goes like down to my thighs. And I like those jeans because it does whatever. They were inside out. They weren't even properly put up. But I chose those pants of all the pants, put them on today, dug in the pocket as I was, changing to put it in the right side in or right side out or whatever case you want to call it. And it was $200 in the pocket. Okay. Then I had a situation where I lost my journal and I put my checks in my journal. It was about $8,000 worth of checks. And I put my checks in my journal. And in my mind, I lost my journal for a couple of days, right? So finally found the journal because I went into prayer. And I said, there is no way I would do this to myself. Hear me good. Ain't no way I'm about to do this to myself. Do you understand me? I'm not finna just lose like that. I wouldn't do that to myself. I do not leave the house. I do not mess around. I don't play with nobody. I fast. I'm not doing anything negative. I'm not messing with nobody. I done got rid of voodoo, hoodoo, and all the other people doing all the weird stuff against me. I done got rid of everything. Y'all hear me? So I'm like, nah, maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe I'm going on some something has to change. That journal needs to show up unharmed, unscathed. Now, what I will do as a mode of protection of not only my finances, but my peace of mind, I will ask to cancel the check from AAA, which was like $6,000. Then they sent me another one for like 500. I will email them, even though it's a Saturday, I will at least put that on the books to say, hey, listen, I can't find my check. Would y'all reissue? I text Cheryl Action Jackson because she had given me two separate checks. I text her. She was like, oh no. So the next day she zailed me. And she zailed me $200 over what she had wrote the check for. Okay. Then I had another check in there, which I didn't even realize that I had. And I contacted those people. Then I just started making a letter that I would write to like the police station or whatever the case may be. I started thinking about, well, if somebody cashes the check, at least let me date this, timestamp this, put this in my email. and do that so I can say, hey, look, this was stolen. Then so on and so forth. So without sparing, I mean, I'll spare you guys the tedium, but the point was I went ahead and did all that stuff too. Mad as ever, not feeling it, but I did all that stuff. And I had to go back and undo everything I did. I had to tell the insurance company, listen, I found the checks. But you know what happened? God taught me a new way to money. So when I get a check, which I really don't normally deal in checks like that, but from my expectation of expecting checks in the mail, they're going to come. And I never have stopped that process. Y'all can rub me by checks all you want. That's not my normal way of getting paid, but fine. Long story short, I did mobile deposit. So God told me, you sat on these checks. These checks were June 20th, June 23rd, June 5th. Do y'all feel what I'm saying? This is a month that went by, and I just now processed the check the other day. So I learned how to do mobile deposit. Like, well, Dr. Oh, you don't know how to do mobile deposit? No, I don't like to take pictures of checks and deposit them on bank accounts so other people can intercept them. Okay. I just feel uncomfortable doing that. But I moved past my uncomfortability, which God wanted me to do, and I did the mobile deposit. I also contacted the company and I did all this stuff. So my point is, I made more money. I made an extra $200 in that process, and God was teaching me something. Is that money really that important to you? Is that really going to make or break you? Is that $8,000 going to make or break you? And in the back of my mind, yes, it will, because I don't care how much money I have. $8,000. Put $8,000 in the chat, y'all. If that's a lot of money, that's a lot of money to be losing and misstepping on. You hear me? Yes, God, it matters. I don't care what you say. Love you, and please know I am not trying to be bad. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but yes, sir, I would be upset if I lost. If I responsible, I can't blame Boom Shika and them. I can't blame no. I lost $8,000. Yes, I would be mad at myself. I'm sorry, but I was honest. I started a new journal, y'all. Everything. I just went. I just kept moving forward, and I go in my daughter's room. I sit behind her. I don't know why I did this. I'm telling you, it was the Holy Spirit. I sit behind her like as if to wrap my legs around her. And I start rubbing on her back. And I hold her and kind of rock her. And as I rock her, I'm digging on the side of her bed. It's not behind the bed. I rock her a little bit to the right. I go on the other side of the bed. It's not behind the bed. Something said, turn around and go under all her blankets and all her sheets and all her pillows. And my journal was right there for 4 days. And
Wow.
I asked this little girl, have you seen my journal? I've seen it before, but not recently. Yeah, because you hid it under your pile of junk behind your bed. But God said something very important. God said, that's your legacy. She's next. She wasn't hiding the journal, not like she did it on purpose. But when I came home that night, because I've only been two places this whole week, Tom Thumb, and I went to a dinner with Bishop T.D. Jakes, COO. That's the only two things I've done the whole week. I have not left my neighborhood. I haven't done anything. So I know it couldn't have been too far. So anyway, I said all that to say that God was training me and teaching me, like, what will you do if you lose your money? Well, I kept moving. Well, what will you do if you lose your journal? I'm going to start a new one. Well, what will you do if such and such? And then God was showing me that I have to start training her and teaching her not just how to store money and keep money, but how to journal, how to write her ideas. Now, she's already an artist, stuff like that. But anyway, God just did this wonderful thing, y'all. And I made an extra $200 on top of it, right? So because Cheryl Zelled me 1,000 and she only had written a check for 800, right? So my point in saying that is that that was one of those lessons that I learned in 2009 to expect, because a lot of people do not, you just don't expect it. Sometimes, oh, it's a miracle, I've been paid, or you start praising God because you got something that you were supposed to get. But if you just walk around in expectancy, just like the power to forgive is that I expect that I'm going to give you grace, mercy, favor, all the things that God gives to me. I literally expect it. And they're like, that's a little bit like arrogant or cocky or whatever you want to call it. I literally expect God to do right by me. I don't know what it is and why I feel that way. I just expect things to go my way. I expect things to go favorable for God. I expect God gets glory out of my life. I do expect that. So if I get stopped by the cops, he gonna say, "Oh, let me just give you a warning." This is my expectation, right? And I'm not saying that I expect the cop to do right at all. That's how you get disappointed, right? I'm not saying I expect the man to do right. That's how you get your heart broken, okay? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I expect God to be with me at all points. Joshua 1 and 9, God will go before you, or he goes before you in everything you do, or God is with you wherever you go, whatever you, however you want to say that, right? I just expect that. Now, what God is asking me to do is because I expect it, why don't I align with it? So when someone hands me a check, why don't I take the check, sign it, and do a mobile deposit from now on? Or don't put your checks in your journal, Omar, right? That was a month ago, y'all. If I really respected money, why am I carrying around $8,000 anyway like that? If I really respect money, does that make sense, y'all? So it's like I had to learn so many things in that one situation. But one thing I want you guys to make sure that you leave with, and I'm going to open this up for questions so we can get off of here, is do you truly expect a windfall from God? Checks from God. I'm not talking about child support and work checks. And if you do a project, they pay you your check, which is good. But I'm talking about consistent, constant overflow of finances, wealth, health, good news, good report. Do you expect your phone to be flooded? That everybody that calls your phone is just giving good news and not from some old girl. I went to the doctor and it ain't cancer, but it is a lump. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, girl, I just created this thing and they got a patent. Something like, do you expect that type of news, or have we been programmed that we're bracing ourselves per phone call, per video we watch? Are we bracing ourselves, or are we expecting good news? Anyway, any questions, comments, concerns? And please forgive my technical difficulties. I just had to get off my internet and get off my video. But are there any questions, comments, concerns before we get off of here?
No, that's good, Dr. O. I'm taking it all in, everything you said, but it's good. So I'm
Just a,
going to expect things to
Jeez.
go in my favor so God can get the glory. Like,
And what I'm gonna push on that, Deaconess DeAndrea, because it's something pulling on me. I saw your comment. It says $8,000 does matter, right? So I pray that $8,000 comes to you, and I mean within the same month. Like, I don't want to break up your checks, right? I don't want to break up your
yeah.
cash. But maybe you get $200 here and you get 1,000 there or whatever, or you just get an $8,000 check and it don't come because you got in a wreck like Dr. O. This is a wreck check, y'all. Hear me good. I'm only being transparent because I don't want anyone. Now, we will admit that
Yeah.
I got hit in a rental car
Hmm.
by the vice president of Toyota Lexus.
Ooh.
And he happened to have triple A insurance, which is one of the best insurances in the
Yes,
world.
it is.
Okay. So I will admit that was not necessarily a wreck, but an opportunity for me. But I
Mm.
don't want to
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
I want it to come
Yes, ma'am.
because it's inheritance or something like that. And so I expect God to not have me talking and us go to these meetings and conferences and go on the internet and be listening to other people. I expect something to happen from this wealth pop up and going forward. And I'm going to start pushing that expectation all throughout 2026. And I'm not going to say it's just about just money, but it does include advancing in your finances. I pray that is not an error or in pain, but that everybody under the sound of my voice that's listening now or will come back and listen to this does receive their $8,000 lesson that is in their favor. Though it was secure and safe and in my daughter's room and it was deposited and all that. I do pray that God be like, I don't want y'all listening to nobody no more. If it's not active in my life, why do I need to hear it? You know what I mean? And I don't want to keep bringing millionaires and money people on these calls and these you know, on the 25th of every month, building out our wealth briefcase. And I don't want to go through all this development and it doesn't start happening for your life. I want you to see the fruits of your labor, like Aquele. I'm going to take a picture with Oprah. She's running around telling people she's going to get next to Oprah. She's going to do Oprah's hair one day. She gonna. And then God put it in her path. Her brother and I, her twin brother, by the way, and I have been friends for 16 years. And I don't know when she started saying it, but what she said came to pass. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Last
ma'am.
month, right, sis? And
Yes,
me and
ma'am.
your brother have for 16 years, but told some people, really talking to yourself. And that's not it. It's not done. We're not done. Because if your sister got anything to do with it, we're gonna be sitting in Oprah's lap by the time I get done with these people. But my point is, you said it. They're supposed to be giving us our picture on June the 10th. You said it. It happened. And if you never had a photo, you know you were standing next to Oprah Winfrey one night. You know this. You know you invested in yourself to make that happen for yourself because you didn't just speak the word. You had an expectancy and you fulfilled the word. And I got hair in my head right now because of you. Does that make sense? Like you did that, not oh my. You not knowing that you pushed on Cheryl Action Jackson. Oprah did not years. Do you hear me? 8 years she got denied. But look at Aquile saying she didn't get denied one time. She said it was gonna happen, and she got in that photo. She didn't even get one denial. Cheryl's the one who got all the denials. Does that make sense? So it's like I pray that I don't want y'all listening to another person. I don't care who they are. If you don't see the functionality of God in their life and you're not able to take away something, even if it's like a true good lesson, we don't need no more bad lessons. I think we got enough, y'all. I don't want no more bad lessons. I got them all. Thank you. The bundle kit. I need another conference. I don't want to go to another sermon. I do not. I don't want to read another scripture if it ain't going to happen in my life. You hear me? I'm telling y'all. Now, I expect these scriptures to come to pass. I do. I don't want to be reading them. I want to walk in them. Okay? And I expect that from God. So anyway, I I don't know how else to say that, but I'm telling y'all, 2026 is going to be a different type of thing. And you're if you can not if when you expect God to show up, I'm going to do. I'm talking about miracle. I pray miracle, but like sincere things to happen for you guys. I had a dream about a cat that acted like a dog. One morning I woke up. I don't know why I woke my daughter up. I don't know why I went to that Walmart. I don't know why I sat down. I was walking, no, not sat down. I got out of the car, excuse me. I was walking towards the dogs. And a lady was sitting calm, not saying anything, but she got my attention. And I said, "What do you have?" She said, "Oh, I've got kittens." And she opened the cage, and it was the cat that I dreamt about. Now, I didn't expect that to happen. I'm not feeling like, all right. I
Wow.
did expect my dream to come true, but I did not expect it like that because I didn't have any. And that's why God said, I'm tired of you, oh my, walking around here reaping all the benefits of being my child, but you're not aligned with me. You don't even expect that I will do what I said I was going to do. You don't even expect your dreams to come true. You don't expect to find good people, right? Your expectation is that you're going to get robbed, people are going to be jealous of you, you're going to get hated on, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. That's your expectation. That's why it keeps happening. And I still keep saving you from that. But here's your dream. When I tell y'all this cat acts like a dog, he begs, he gives you his paw, he wags his tail. This cat is a dog. And I dreamt about this cat. So I'm saying that to say that I was like, okay, God, my bad. I've been walking around here for 46 years, getting and receiving from God and not even aligned with God. To me, that's just a disservice. So while I'm telling on myself, please, God is not telling me to give this testimony for no reason. I want $8,000. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this month. I'm going to go ahead and say this month, but before August is up, before my birthday, I want everybody with $8,000. I'm like, well, how, Dr. O? I'm not investable. I don't know. You know, you see how all that stuff starts flooding in? Well, who's it going to come from? Where's it going to come from? Is it child support? Is it this? Is it that? Is somebody going to die? Is it what am I going to do? How am I going to do? How am I going to work? Is it going to get a raise? You see what happens when you're not aligned? I'm so aligned right now. I expect a phone call from everybody and send me photos of y'all's checks. That's how I feel. That's just how I feel. And it may come through a donation. It might be, hey, $8,000 worth of free mentorship or coaching or something. I don't know. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay, y'all. Well, thank you for popping up with me. I will close the recording and post it in the chat by tomorrow, whenever the thing comes out. And our next wealth pop-up is the 9th. I don't know who it is, but I'm sure it's going to be great. And I'm going to make sure that they come with some firepower. I'm going to start meeting with these people ahead of time. I have not met with anybody that's come on, y'all. I haven't had no meeting. I haven't coached them. I've given them no rules, no nothing. But I think I'm going to start doing some alignment with them before they come in. So that way they can give y'all the best of themselves. Because these are some extremely quality people that are coming through. Okay. But all right, y'all. Talk to y'all very soon. See y'all in the chat. And thank you for being supportive.
Thank you, Dr. We appreciate you.
All right. Stay
Thank
blessed.
you.